Hello Raptors Nation. The Toronto Raptors will need the bench to tread water when Jakob Poeltl sits in Wednesday's play-in game against the Chicago Bulls. If you don't want to miss this and other Raptors news, subscribe to the channel now so that YouTube can send you the news I bring here every day from the Toronto Raptors. Now let's get the news. As anyone who has watched the Toronto Raptors this season is well aware, this team can look as good or as bad as just about anyone on any given night. Can they contend with the Milwaukee Bucks and Denver Nuggets? Sure. Maybe once or twice. Can they no-show against mediocre to bad teams? Well, we don't need to rehash the story of the 2022-23 season quite yet. But when it comes to evaluating how the Raptors will fare against the Chicago Bulls in Wednesday's do-or-die play-in game, there's really only one game to look at. Only once did these teams play at full strength this season with Jakob Poeltl in the lineup, and the results were about as telling as any one game can be. Toronto came away with the victory that February 28 evening 104-98. The Raptors, unsurprisingly, couldn't find any reliable shooting against a Bulls team that has ranked atop the NBA in defensive rating since the All-Star break. The Raptors did, however, outshoot the Bulls 94-71 in terms of field goals thanks to 19 offensive rebounds and another 19 turnovers forced. The key to the game, though, was Poeltl, the 27-year-old center who came over from San Antonio at the trade deadline. Poeltl didn't put up gaudy numbers that night, just 14 points on 6-for-9 shooting, but he was solid, a plus 13 in 26 minutes. Obviously his screening is great, getting you open, and I think I probably score the most off the ball with him being out there and making the passes and cuts and things like that, Pascal Siakam said of Poeltl following Tuesday's practice. The problem for Toronto that night was minutes without Poeltl. Precious Achiuwa was a minus 14 in his 12 minutes, and Thad Young, who has since been jettisoned from the rotation, fared only slightly better. So how are the Raptors feeling about their bench heading into Wednesday? My confidence level's really high. They'll be just fine, Raptors coach Nick Nurse said Tuesday. It probably helps to know that there's not much of a choice for the bench. Toronto will almost certainly cut the rotation to just 7 or 8 players deep in the play-in tournament, with Gary Trent Jr., Chris Boucher, and Achiuwa filling in for limited minutes. Those minutes could be cut even shorter if any trouble arises. Do you think Jakob Poeltl will be decisive for the Raptors against the Bulls? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss all the news on the Raptors. Leave your comment below. Your opinion is very important for the Toronto Raptors. Anytime I'll update you on this.